Hello and welcome back to another episode of Power Rangers Lore. Today we're going to continue on this week's trend of the redeemed villains. Now, if you've been paying attention to the last two episodes, we have talked about different villains, Waspicable and a few others. Now, today we're going to continue on someone else who is of a newer genre, and that is from Junglefury, none other than Camille. Now, Camille is a very interesting villain. She goes from villain to anti-hero to full-on hero at the end. Now, if you guys don't know from that, she's from Junglefury and would be one of the main contenders against the rival 3-man team, which would then become later on a 4 to 5-man team. Now, she has the armor of a ranger, but is not a ranger. And I've looked up many different times. She has the same armor traits, but does not fully there, and it explains later on. Now, let's get on to her past. Who is Camille? Well, she is an ill-tempered servant and user of the chameleon spirit. Now, the entire theme of Junglefury is every person has an animal spirit inside of them that calling out to be used. The same thing is used in the original Power Rangers movie against Ivan Ooze when they go to another planet and they discover their own spirits within them, or different things, such as Tommy is the falcon and Adams is the frog. Now, Camille's is the chameleon. Now, it is not certain if she was a human that joined the side of Daishi. Now, Daishi is an 8-headed dragon, much like Orochi, but, or is she the chameleon itself magnified into this being? Because a chameleon can disguise herself any way she wants. It's weird that she would choose to be a human, which Daishi really hates. Now, in the Super Sentai version of this, she was known as Melee, and she was dead and resurrected and took a more human form from the resurrection happening. That makes more sense to me, but this one they don't really explain why she's human. But she is and has this human appearance. Now, she can jump between her armored appearance, which is much more gecko-looking, but that's all we get for that period. Now, we know that she fought 10,000 years ago alongside Daishi, and she remained beside him the entire time. Even after he was sealed away, she remained inside his palace waiting for him for 10,000 years. Now, this battle would happen the same time that Rita Repulsa and Lord Zed would fight. No, Rita Repulsa and Zordon would fight, sorry. And I don't know why everything's 10,000 years or 65 million years, but apparently a lot of things happened in those time periods. But let's continue on there. Now, when Daishi would return and inhabit the body of Jared, she would resume her role as second in command. Now, she is a formidable enemy of Junglefury and would fight them numerous times, and serving Daishi with great devotion, never once really doubting him in truth, and proving to him many times that she is devoted to him. Now, there would be different things going on when she would go off to basically summon forth some allies and fight against the Rangers. Now, she would use her own job to get a claw to resurrect one of the overlords, Naja, and continue from there. I'm sorry, I confused up. As soon as I said the name, I had to go check. I'm confused up. Naja was used as his life talents because he has this ability to resurrect things. She stole the last ones of him and used them to revive the overlords, Carnosaur, Jellica, and Grizzlek. Now, the last one I probably mispronounced, but we're going to go on there. The last one isn't really being necessary. Now, Carnosaur would be seen later on going through Jared's life and Daishi's life and deleting all the good points on it and to turn him more evil to allow him to activate his certain abilities, such as Rinzen. Is it Rinzen? Or there's two forms here, and I forgot which one. But eventually he would be able to awaken this power within him. Now, she doesn't like the personality changes that happens with Carnosaur's training. Basically, him deleting part aspect. It makes him more cruel and less kind that she's gotten used to. But, so she decides to resurrect another, such as Jellica, to accomplish this, to basically equal it out. Maybe Jellica can help her control in some way what's going on in his training. So sorry, I had a little belch there. So he is not the completely different person that she's got to know in the last couple, I don't know, like a month or so in this time period. So let's continue on. She basically does care about Jared slash Daishi a lot in this aspect. It's not just out of selfish means. She's kind of doing it for his self-interest rather than hers. Now, when she was under disguise, trying to sneak amongst the Rangers and get close to Lily to basically destroy her, she even openly comments that she cares for Daishi, though never actually commenting, like basically saying, oh, I really like this guy, and basically kind of like gives away a glance like it's actually real. Now, despite the cold treatment of her, Jared may care about her in the same way as he saved her life twice from Jellica's wrath. Now, the second time he is quoted in saying, I still have use for you, but I think it was basically Daishi just talking to him and going like, it's not love. Like, don't get the wrong feelings here. Now, she would also go on and spare the opportunity of killing Lily, showing that she has some good inside of her that she's withholding. Probably if she is human, because as we learned earlier, monsters don't have hearts. But she is partly human here, and I would assume, or she at least appears partly human, unlike any of the other monsters we've seen in this entire series. Now, she also has another interesting aspect of her past. Camille is followed and annoyed by a tiny fly named Flint. Flit. Sorry. I don't know why I put it in there, but I did. Flit. Now, if you don't know who Flit is the speaker. Every time there would be a big battle going on between the Megazords, he would come out, little microphone, and announce what's going on and give a full-on story of the current fight process. Now, who was he? Well, he was a human cursed by her after challenging him. After he challenged her to a fight, essentially he was cursed after he was defeated, and then into his current form, which is part little fly, maybe like an inch tall, and then swallowed him. Now, as part of the curse, Flit must stay in contact or inside of Camille's stomach, or he will die, as shown when he's revealed to turn back into human later on after escaping. Now, she is usually aggressive to him, beating him, swatting him out of the place, and then usually shooting her tongue and pulling him back under. But she's also shown that she has a softer side to him and cares about him in many different ways. Like, she could have crushed him, but she doesn't. It might have been a control aspect, but I think she didn't want to kill him. But hey, we don't know the full backstory behind that, so there might be more. Maybe they were old lovers. You never know. Now, later on, she would prove her successful adventures when she stole the control dagger from Dominic to give it to Jared to show that she is still useful. And basically would, when at the Rhino Nexus, she would be attacked by sand snakes, only to be saved by Daishi. Basically another proving that Daishi kind of cares about her. Now, they would have some type of relationship, and she would remain a villain through the entire time of the series until the very end. But the major points out here is when she gets a little change, she gets a little upgrade, is when she's informed that by basically observing what's going on, that Dr. Sylvia Jennings has 5 of the crystal eyes. Now, crystal eyes have the crystal eye beasts, and they're going to basically unleash them, or the Phantom Beast Warriors. And I don't know why I call them crystal eye beasts, but basically, yeah. The Phantom Beast Warriors, and she basically sneaks in, infiltrates the things, takes it to prove her loyalty to Jared and slash Daishi. It's getting really annoying saying these both, but basically that's how it is, because they are technically two separate entities in the same body. Now, Camille would basically steal these from them and release what's going on, the Phantom Beast Warriors. Now, she kind of asks in the end, to have her own, form, and they kind of laugh at her, but Daishi goes, you know what, she deserves it, and actually gives her a Phantom Beast power and makes her general, and the power to do Renzen. See, that's where Renzen is. I forgot what the other form was. But she becomes the essence of the Phoenix, and she basically, and not because he chose it for her, because she asked. She goes, I want to kind of like the Phoenix, and so she's given it, and it kind of ticks off the other 3 generals, who are basically all symbols of the 4 guardian spirits: the Phoenix, the Tiger, the Turtle, and the Dragon. Now, this is all the guardian spirits of Japan, and it's kind of China. They have little aspects, but don't tell them. They don't like each other. But hey, what do I know? Now, she would also fight in this new power a spiritless Casey and a Renzen-deprived Weiger. Because both of their spirits have been taken away. Casey had his taken away by Weiger, and Weiger had his taken away for failing in killing Casey by Daishi. Now, they would have to team up to defeat her, but basically that would be the only way that they could have defeated her because they didn't have any powers. Now, she would continue on several different things and go on from there. There's a lot of different stories where she'd go on there, but the main thing that she's come up with, that this entire series is based around, is the fact that she gets attacked by her allies. She gets attacked by Scorch, who I believe is the dragon form of the Phantom Beast Warriors, because she's unknowingly helping Jared regain control over herself due to the fact that Jared has feelings for her, and it's not Daishi. Now, she doesn't know this, and she thinks she's helping Daishi, but she's actually helping Jared, and Jared's the one who's fallen in love with her in many ways, and she's kind of fallen in love with it. Now, she denies it, but because she's loyal to Daishi, but it does make her question it from this point on, and since Jared is always treating her with kindness, while Daishi would never do that, because he doesn't have a kind heart in his, or kind bone in his body, she kind of questions it. And so, from there, she actually steps in after Jared and Daishi separate. Now, she ran in to protect Jared, losing her resin power and immortality in the process. But, she saves the man she loves. Now, soon after, she helps the Rangers in battling Scorch and destroying Snapper, which, at this point, she's probably going, screw Snapper, and basically would join with Jared when he leaves the team in guilt, because he's basically going, what have I done? I've unleashed this giant monster, and she basically helps him convince him to help fight back. And she basically fights back with the Rangers to defeat Daishi, and cementing herself as a hero. Now, she would not die unlike most of these other people that have shown up in this series. She would be seen as a student alongside Jared in the Pai Shua, or God, these academies. I can't do Eastern names, but maybe it's Pai Shua Academy. Maybe I was right, but just pronounced differently for me. I was correct the first time. I just looked at the spelling. With Casey as the instructor, which is a big thing for both of them. Jared did not respect that Casey was chosen to be one of the three guardians, and now he's basically learning under him. And she, for the first time ever, is taught by someone who's not kind of a dick. Now, she would not be shown later on in the Ranger battles because she is not a Ranger herself, but she's so close to being a Ranger. It's not even like, it's just so close. Now, it's not even funny. Now, she has, for powers ability, she has great strength. She has the power to use Renzin later on, unlike basically normal other creatures, and the power to transform between her green chameleon warrior form and her phoenix armor at will. And then she's able to still keep her armor even after her Renzin is stolen from her. So she still has that power, unlike other monsters who lose the power and they basically can't do anything. She has the ability to teleport at will. She has great durability, able to withstand blasts from their biggest cannons they had. And she has the ability to energy absorb, allowing her to increase her powers. Now she has the ability to boost the Renzin beast powers if she wants to, as well as do several different things. She has a prehensile tongue that basically just flicks around, which shows that she's not fully human. The curse inducement, so basically she has some sort of dark magic she can call upon. Immortality that she loses on as time goes on. It probably was given to her by her master to begin with, which makes me wonder if she was a human that gave up her humanity to serve this great dragon. And she has the ability to disguise herself as a human by changing her clothes and hair color at will. Now, that is mainly our major hero here. She would go from this great villain, the number 2, second in command, to directly the hero of the stories, able to convince Jared to turn himself around and help them fight. Now, if she and Jared had not fight, the Rangers might have lost. That's how close it came. So, now you know more about Camille. Now, there's a lot more to know about her, but this is just a quick summary, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Now, if there's any other warriors you wanted to be talking about, let me know. I have many videos. I've started to plan out the Halloween episode, and I'm still cutting down this week's episode characters. So, feel free to make a comment. Let me know what you guys are looking for. Maybe there's a few others that I have not touched on that I really should, but I've got 2 more this week, And I've talked about it, and then I realized with somebody else I forgot a few, and I think I'm going to add them in because I think there should be only 5 that we talked about this week, and they're going to be big doozies. Thank you guys. You guys have a good one. May the power protect you always. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe at the end of this video. All your likes help me out, and all your watchers do too. Thank you very much, guys. I would really like to discuss with you guys what your topics are. May the power protect you always.